Tonight on Connecticut's news station, flooding remains a concern and now more rain is on the way. Hartford police rushing to the scene of a deadly mass shooting will have the latest on the investigation. New details emerging from the Gilgo Beach serial killer arrest, what we know about the suspect.
Now at 11, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Lots of communities still flooded and more rain is headed our way. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carmen Chow. All counties in Connecticut are under a flood watch for tomorrow, and now towns and cities are trying to prepare for another rise in water levels. Meteorologist Ryan Breton is here with what you can expect. Ryan?
Carmen, tomorrow's weather is very concerning, and some of the new data coming in tonight continuing to underscore that. We are going to have more rain and thunderstorms on what already is a saturated ground, and some of this rain will be quite heavy. It looks like it begins in the morning and will continue off and on through the day on Sunday. And there are two main impacts. The first and most concerning will be flash flooding of rivers, streams, and poor drainage areas. And second to that, there is a chance for a couple of severe storms within the rain and perhaps even a spin-up tornado somewhere in southern New England tomorrow. A flood watch is up for all of Connecticut and really all of southern New England for that matter. You can see the rain beginning to take shape to our south, and this is going to be moving in early tomorrow morning. So here's a first look at the timeline. It will not cool down tonight. It will be warm, very humid with temperatures in the 70s, and by 4 or 5 in the morning, we may already have downpours and thunderstorms developing on top of us. Then as we go through the morning, more widespread rain developing with some embedded storms, and where this band of rain sets up and for how long it sits will determine where the flash flooding happens. But somewhere within our state may get clobbered with a lot of rain between about mid-morning and early afternoon tomorrow, and then things should get somewhat better later in the afternoon with just a couple of scattered showers. We are under a moderate risk for excessive rain, meaning numerous flash floods are possible tomorrow, and there also is that small but not zero chance for a spin-up tornado. So a concerning day of weather ahead tomorrow. It's not totally washed out, but there will be periods of very heavy rain in the morning and early afternoon. I'll be back to talk much more about this and break it all down coming up.
Ryan, thank you. The northwest corner of Connecticut, already hit hard by flooding this week, is on alert once again tonight with more rain expected this weekend. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro spoke with leaders in Norfolk about how the area is preparing.
The cleanup still ongoing in Norfolk after severe flooding washed out bridges and roads, even cutting off communities.
For those neighbors that are directly, impacted, yeah, it's catastrophic. Quite a few neighbors were stranded in their homes because their driveways were washed out across the brooks.
Now the town is bracing for the impacts of even more rain.
Any little rain that we're going to get now just has the potential of causing more damage where normally it would not. But because everything is swollen, roadways are already damaged, any amount of water we're going to get is going to cause more issues.
Public Information Officer John Barbagallo offering some tips on how neighbors can prepare.
We just ask that people be very careful when they are out and traveling, especially when it is raining and especially at night, because there could be hidden damage.
First responders also preparing.
Our state DOT in the area has been scrambling to support the roadways. Our local DOT folks and our contractor friends have been great, but over the last couple of days, each time it rains, we find more damage.
The hope that more rain does not set back progress in repairing damaged roads.
Well, the three biggest washouts we have in town are pretty extensive and impressive, actually, when you look at them. Unfortunately, the damage is going to take quite a while to repair. Again, like I mentioned, the state DOT has been great in coming up with a plan, but we still need the water to recede. We still need engineering and surveys being done. And then the new box culverts, the concrete culverts, need to be delivered.
The town expects repairs will continue for months. Angelo Bavaro, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Angelo, thank you. Connecticut's news station has you covered with the upcoming weather. Download our free Fox 61 app for the latest forecast, hour-by-hour radar, weather alerts, and more. New at 11, Hartford police are investigating after an afternoon shooting leaves one person dead and 3 others in the hospital. It happened just after 3:30 this afternoon. Fox 61's Jake Garcia is live from Hartford Police headquarters with the latest on the investigation. Jake?
Well, Carmen, Hartford police still trying to piece together what led up to that shooting in the 500 block of Maple Avenue that left one person dead and 3 others hospitalized.
This all started today with a 911 call that came in at 3:36 p.m. From 541 Maple Avenue reporting a juvenile female with gunshot wounds inside of an apartment there.
Hartford police say when officers arrived, they found another person with a gunshot wound in a nearby car.
While officers were responding, they came across a motor vehicle crash at the intersection of Maple and Penn Street with a male driver suffering from another gunshot wound. So we had 2 victims right off the bat.
The 17-year-old girl was taken to Connecticut Children's Hospital, and the driver of the crashed car was rushed to Hartford Hospital nearby. Both are in critical condition. Hartford police say moments later they received another 911 call a few streets over along Wethersfield Avenue.
Another 911 call of 2 additional victims dropped off from a vehicle in the area of 165 Wethersfield Avenue. Both of those were adult males. One of them has since been pronounced deceased. The other is also in critical condition.
Hartford police believe the shooting happened inside the apartment on Maple Avenue.
We believe it was sort of a mutual combatant type situation. We believe we have most of the people accounted for. Most of the people that were involved in the incident are at a hospital.
Police also looking for a driver and another car involved, but did not provide additional details. For people who live nearby, they're concerned for kids who live in the neighborhood.
A lot of kids are always outside, and bullets don't have names, you know, and it's just sad when kids end up in a situation that's not their fault.
Hartford police believe that this shooting was targeted and say there's no ongoing threat to the public. The Hartford Police Major Crimes Division is investigating, and anyone with information is asked to call Hartford Police. Live in Hartford, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Jake, thank you. New at 11, one man is dead after a stabbing in New Haven. It happened at the intersection of Lloyd and Exchange Streets this afternoon. Police have identified the victim as Robert Franklin of New Haven. An investigation into the stabbing is underway. Police continue to collect evidence they believe will help seal their case against accused Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann. It's a crime that has haunted Long Island since 2010. Reporter CB Cotton has more from New York.
Prosecutors have said their investigation is far from over, and that seems to be the case. Detectives are still removing items from Heuermann's home behind me and chatting with people who live nearby. Now, it's been less than 48 hours since people learned this suburban dad and architect was accused in these heinous crimes, and you can still feel the collective shock. One woman tells Fox her mom was invited inside Heuermann's home while working for the Census Bureau about a decade ago.
It was just very decrepit, very hoarder-like, and disgusting. But he acted very intelligent, like he knew the words to say. But she's shocked. She's scared for me because I live alone here.
Friday, Heuermann pleaded not guilty to charges in the killings of 3 women, 22-year-old Megan Waterman, 24-year-old Melissa Barthelemy, and 27-year-old Amber Lynn Costello. The women worked as escorts. Heuermann is also the prime suspect in a 4th murder, according to prosecutors, and police could link him to more killings once they gather more evidence. In total, at least 11 sets of remains were found between 2010 and 2011. Investigators say back in January of this year, Heuermann's DNA was collected on pizza crust, and that linked him to a hair found with a set of remains. Prosecutors say Heuermann was also linked to the killings through his car and burner phones that were allegedly used to arrange meetings with some of the victims. Some people tell us they weren't sure this day would ever come.
I always wondered how the case would really go, if anybody really would be found for it. Kind of just look at the house, be like, wow, I've passed by it so many times.
And that was CB Cotton reporting. Prosecutors say Heuermann had permits for 92 guns, but they're not all accounted for. And while it appeared he had to put together a professional life, there may have been some chaos behind the scenes. Court documents show that he had trouble paying his taxes over the past decade.